Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Juneyoung, a postdoctoral fellow at Seoul National University. The title of the paper which I present today is Kuznets and Kaldor in a three-way growth equity nexus in developed and developing countries.
As you can see through the title, this study empirically analyzes a three-way relationship between economic growth and two aspects of income distribution. The two aspects of income distribution indicate functional income distribution measured by labor income share and household income inequality often measured by Gini coefficient. Accordingly, the three-way growth equity nexus includes the impact of both functional and household income distribution on economic growth, the impact of economic growth on functional income distribution, and that on household income inequality. Regarding the motivation of this study, there exist several reasons why we should focus on both aspects of equity. First, labor income share recently shows a declining trend not only in United States but also in other countries, which is contrary to Kaldor's traditional argument that the share of labor income to national income is stable in the long run. Therefore, the factors that can affect labor income share as well as Gini coefficient needs discussing. Second, more importantly, contrary to the traditional perception that labor income share is negatively correlated with household income inequality, economic growth driven by skill intensiveness, such as skill-based technological change, can couple higher household income inequality with higher labor income share, because it is beneficial to skilled labor. Based on these motivations, this study conducts following empirical analysis using country panel data. First, this study introduces cross-sectional panel simultaneous equations model and three-stage least square estimator to analyze the three-way growth equity nexus. Regarding the empirical methodology, three-stage least square estimator is a combination of two-stage least square and feasible GLS estimator, which is consistent by introducing instrument variable as 2SLS estimator, but more efficient than 2SLS estimator as it considers the correlation between error terms of each equation. In addition to the simultaneous equations model estimation, this study adopts heterogeneous panel CSDL estimator to analyze the role of skill-based technological change in the growth equity nexus. As based on panel ARDL model derived from VAR specification, the panel CSDL estimator can consistently estimate the long-run effect of explanatory variable, which allows feedback effect between variables and is robust to union root issues. The key findings of this study are as follows. First, through the analysis on the simultaneous equations model, this study finds that there exists an opposite effect of economic growth on functional and household income distribution, and the change in functional and household income distribution also have opposite effects on economic growth. To be specific, higher per capita GDP growth rate increases not only labor income share but also household income inequality measured by Gini coefficient. And higher labor income share as well as higher household income inequality accelerates economic growth. Such estimation results provide mixed support to Kaldor's idea as well as the wage rate growth theory. To be specific, the finding that higher household income inequality accelerates economic growth supports Kaldor's argument but is contrary to wage-led growth theory. On the other hand, higher labor income share accelerates economic growth, which supports wage-led growth theory but is contrary to the idea of Kaldor. This study also finds that the three-way growth equity relationship is consistent in both developing and developed countries, as the estimation of each country group yields identical sign and significance. However, by combining these estimation results with the time trends of control variables, this study finds that the drives of decreasing trend of labor income share are different between those country groups. To be specific, in case of high-income countries, this study finds that declining trend of per capita GDP growth and increasing trend of years of schooling causes decreasing trend of labor income share. On the other hand, in case of low or middle income countries, decreasing trend of fertility rate can explain the decreasing trend of labor income share. Moreover, the increasing in the level of per capita GDP as well as its growth rate appears to aggravate household income inequality in both developing and developed country sample. Such results are contrary to the original insights of Kuznets, which is called Kuznets inverse U hypothesis. Also, as a robustness check, this study estimated separated two-way growth equity nexus, which are the relationship between economic growth and functional income distribution, and that between economic growth and household income inequality. The estimation yields identical sign and significances, but higher coefficients compared to the primary estimation, which is indicated of omitted variable bias. Moreover, this study finds that the estimation results are robust to various issues, such as the reciprocal relationship between functional and household income distribution, as well as introducing various household income inequality measures. The empirical findings from the simultaneous equations model analysis clearly implies that the income distribution favorable to skilled labor accelerates economic growth, and higher growth rate of per capita income is also favorable to skilled labor as well. Moreover, the implication is also in line with the theory of skill-biased technological change, which argues that the technological change related to computerization aggravates household income inequality. However, the relationship between such technological change and the growth equity nexus has not been empirically established yet. Therefore, this study conducted heterogeneous panel CSDR estimation to analyze the role of skill-biased technological change in the growth equity nexus to empirically confirm such implication. By utilizing the compensation share of ICT capital as a measure of skill-biased technological change, this study finds that higher per capita GDP growth rate accelerates skill-biased technological change, and higher skill-biased technological change increases both labor income share and household income inequality. The primary contribution of this study is that we maybe first analyze the three-way growth equity nexus, including economic growth and both functional and household income distribution. On the other hand, previous literatures considered only one-way or two-way relationships between economic growth and income distribution. Moreover, this study is also the first paper which empirically confirms the role of skill-biased technological change in growth equity relationships with panel time series analysis. Combined with the simultaneous equations model analysis, the empirical findings indicate that both economic growth and income distribution around the world is related to skill intensiveness. Finally, let me briefly discuss policy implications derived from the empirical findings. The tricky three-way growth equity relationship found by this study is important for policymakers, because empirical findings indicate that there exists a certain trade-off between economic growth and household income inequality, while there is no trade-off between economic growth and functional income distribution measured by labor income share. Considering the empirical finding, the policy which enhances pre-tax labor income share as well as decreases disposable household income inequality can mitigate income inequality without compromising economic growth. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. If you have any question, feel free to contact me through the email. Thank you very much for watching the video.